welcome to another episode of the Chaos Chronicles.
Navigating the randomness.
I'm Jess.
I'm Connie.
And today we are hopping into Eclipse for the first time.
Yes. I am not going to do the full summary of everything thus far. At this point, if you are tuning in, you know what happens in Twilight. You know what happens in New Moon. You know that we do not like Edward, and we are not liking Bella. We're liking Charlie and Jacob, but, Jacob, he's mostly good.
I really like him, but I also am reading this for the first time. So apparently I have to record myself reading chapter 15 for you guys. So
yeah. Side note, I don't think this will make it in for the sake of time. I honestly don't know. Now I'm like, knowing the types of books you read, maybe you won't be as annoyed. It's not. It's Stephanie Meyer. So just like.
Oh, but Stephanie Meyer is the annoying part of that, though.
And so like tamp the expectations way down. way down.
Oh, gosh.
But now I'm like, maybe she won't be as annoyed. I just remember me being very annoyed the first time I read it.
Well, either way, I was told to record chapter 15, so I'll still do it. If it turns out to be nothing, nah. But apparently something happened.
And I still have to mark the chapters in Breaking Dawn. I almost said Breaking Wind, which is the parody version of it.
Oh, and also, by the way, I found my book at Goodwill, and it is the original cover.
Oh, good. No god awfulness that was the New Moon cover.
No, but now after watching the movie, it makes sense because she has not only auditory, but visual hallucinations of Edward, and that is the whole time, so it makes sense.
Yes. And if for whatever reason you don't remember, in our New Moon series, the New Moon books released after the movie had a very, very different cover than the original New Moons, and it's awful. It's truly awful. Look it up.
It wasn't great.
So if you hear us reference back to that, just know we hated it. I hated it. If I see Edward and the Moon ever again, I'm going to lose my mind.
Yes, but we have the original cover this time.
Yes.
So this is a lot better.
I'm trying to remember what that was supposed to symbolize.
A ribbon breaking?
Which part of the book? We'll figure it out as we go. It's been a long, long time since I've watched the movies or picked up the Eclipse or Breaking Dawn books or movies, period. I think I said movies twice, but we'll find out. So,
And if it's your guys' first time tuning in to our reactions, I have a Twilight reaction and a New Moon reaction playlist. They are separate over on our YouTube channel. And see what
YouTube
else?
exclusive for
yes.
the Twilight movie and the New Moon movie reactions. Not what we were expecting for New Moon, so you should check it out. I believe that would have just come out last week for you guys.
Correct, yes. Which me in real time has to go and edit that. So yay me.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, but if you guys are new, I have the book here because we take notes on this, and I have sections that are noted in here to go and read. So we will be doing that.
And I don't think we said it yet. We would highly, highly appreciate a like, follow, and subscribe. You can see our other social medias listed below in the description box. We also have our Who Knows What Wednesday episodes, which are true crime centered most of the time. We did just wrap up our Spooky Ooky October month with some fun Halloween myths and legends, if you want to check that out. But otherwise, we also have a email in our description box where you can email us ideas for episodes, which in this case, for Who Knows What Wednesdays, or for book series you'd recommend, you can also leave them in the comments. And just as a refresher, Jess, as she said, is reading the series for the first time. So those of you who know about all the new characters that come in and all the plot twists that happen in this book and the next one, shut your mouth. Don't say nothing. Do not say nothing. Shush.
I have a question for you. Do we actually get a new plot in this book? Or is it the same plot as the first two books?
The entire series is the same plot. I'm going to be real with you. You get a little bit of deviation in Breaking Dawn. Nope, I ain't gonna say nothing because I gotta mark the chapters for you that you need to be recording yourself when you read it because your jaw is gonna hit the floor and you're gonna be mad.
Is it because I like Jacob that
That'll
I'm
be
going to be
parts of
mad?
it, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Like I said, it's a lot. But we're getting there. But for now, we're gonna do the first couple chapters of Eclipse.
Yes. So, starting with the preface. Like in the previous books, it begins with a tense and mysterious scene hinting at a future danger. Bella Swan reflects on being in a life-threatening situation, facing an enemy while feeling a sense of inevitability. She expresses a mixture of fear and acceptance, implying that she willingly entered this dangerous moment, perhaps to protect someone she loves. Which is exactly how the last one started. Oh, but actual chapter 1 is the ultimatum, and it begins with a note from Jacob. Most of it is crossed out, and there's ink splattered on the pages, and it reads Bella, and then beyond this is all crossed out. I don't know why you're making Charlie carry notes to Billy like we're in second grade. If I wanted to talk to you, I would answer the you made the choice here, okay? You can't have it both ways when a part of what part of mortal enemies is too complicated for you to look. I know I am being a jerk, but there's just no way around. We can't be friends when you're spending all your time with a bunch of. It just makes it worse when I think about you too much, so don't write anymore. And then what he left not crossed out was, yeah, I miss you too a lot. Doesn't change anything. Sorry, Jacob.
Aww.
And I had to include that there because that's so sad.
It's so sad. And like, I get where Bella's coming from, but at the same time, Jacob's making a good point. Like, you want to still have that friendship, I'm sure, but like, it doesn't mean I'm not excusing. I said I get where she's coming
Bella,
from.
no.
But
You
like,
made your choice.
she made her choice. Like, I understand. She's like, no, they're all good people, and Jacob's like, people.
They're not people.
They're not people. Well, it's like, yeah, maybe they could get some things figured out, but like, you're kind of being a bit unreasonable and pushy about it.
Yeah. So Bella was able to feel dents in the page from Jacob pressing so hard. When Bella was analyzing the letter, smoke started coming from the kitchen. Bella ran into the kitchen and yanked out a jar of spaghetti sauce. Charlie asked what he did was wrong, or what he did wrong. Bella tells him he needs to take the metal lid off of it first. He put a whole jar of pasta sauce in the microwave with the top on, turned it on.
Charlie damn near made an IED.
Oh, poor Charlie.
Poor whoever had to clean that up. I'm just saying, don't mess with the microwave. That will mess things up.
I remember learning about that. We got Arby's growing up, and we had leftovers in the fridge, and they come in the metal wrapping. Yeah. So me and one of my brothers were trying to heat them up, and we didn't know any better, so we tossed the whole thing, wrapper and all, in the microwave, and it started on fire.
Matt or Andy?
Matt.
Yeah. Oh, it's okay. I can't judge. My sister and I, Nina and I, were trying to make frosting easier to spread. Frosting has the aluminum. Yeah, didn't get it all off.
Mm-hmm.
I remember seeing those sparks and having a moment of, I'm in trouble.
We're
It wasn't
not good.
Not that I'm in danger. It was, Mom's gonna kill us.
I know. Yep. Yep.
Sorry, Mom.
So Charlie then asked if he did the noodles right, and Bella tells him that stirring helps.
Ooh, that's gonna be a pain to clean that pot.
Bella asks what all this is about, but Charlie says he doesn't know what she's talking about. They sit down for dinner in silence, as they normally do. Afternoons were the hardest for Bella because Edward was only allowed to come over between 7 and 9:30 at night. And then, of course, Edward would spend most nights in Bella's room. Well, Charlie didn't know about that, though. Charlie clears his throats as they're eating. Throats?
Charlie's a monster.
Ooh. Charlie clears his throat as they're eating and tells her that he did have a reason for making dinner. He was trying to soften her up a bit because he needs to talk to her. It's about Jacob. Bella's face hardened, and Charlie tells Bella to go easy. He knows she's still upset with him, but he did the right thing by being responsible. Charlie starts telling her not to get mad at him. This is also about Edward, too. He continues that he believes that she deserves a parole for good behavior because, quote, for a teenager, you're amazingly non-whiny, end quote. But this freedom, however, is conditional. She is free, but he is hoping that she will use this freedom judiciously. Bella tells him that she will spend some time with Alice, too. But Charlie agrees, but says she does have friends outside the Cullens, or at least she used to. After a while, he then asks when the last time that she spoke to Angela was, and Bella tells him on Friday at lunch. Bella thinks about how before Edward returned to her school friends were grouped in good and evil. The good guys were Angela, Ben, and Mike. All of them forgave her for going crazy when Edward left. And Lauren was the evil core, and almost everyone else, including Jessica, went along with her anti-Bella agenda. With Edward back, that dividing line was even more distinct. Charlie asked, what about outside school? Bella reminds him that she was grounded, and Angela also has a boyfriend, and she's always with him. Charlie hesitates before continuing, saying that she and Jake used to be joined at the hip. He doesn't think that she should dump all of her friends for her boyfriend. It's not nice, and she needs a better balance. So she should use her new freedom to keep things balanced with her other friends. Particularly Jacob, though. He has been a very good friend to her.
Yeah. Do not abandon everything for your significant other.
No, it's not healthy.
Don't.
Actually, yeah. We're putting the red flags a little closer. Actually, I'm not, because I have a read something coming up soon.
These red flags have gotten so much use. They're a little afraid.
Afraid. He then asked if she missed him at all. Bella does, but it's difficult because friendship doesn't seem to be enough for Jake.
Oh, goody. The first of the quotes of the book.
The first. I told you there's a few coming.
As long as it's no more breath quotes. Stephanie, what's with the breath?
I'm fairly certain those have gone away.
Please, God. No, not fully. Not fully. I remember cringing every book of the series.
For the first 4 chapters, I don't think I've read anything about it.
Great. So. Good. I'll enjoy that.
Quote, isn't Edward up for a little healthy competition? Charlie's voice was sarcastic now. I leveled a dark look at him. There's no competition. You're hurting Jake's feelings avoiding him like this. He'd rather be just friends than nothing. Oh, now I was the one avoiding him? I'm pretty sure Jake doesn't want to be friends at all. The words burned in my mouth. Where'd you get that idea anyway? Charlie looked embarrassed now. The subject might have come up today with Billy. You and Billy gossip like old women, I complained, stabbing my fork viciously into the spaghetti on my plate. Billy's worried about Jacob, Charlie said. Jake's having a hard time right now. He's depressed. I winced, but kept my eyes on the blob of spaghetti. And then you were always so happy after spending the day with Jake, Charlie sighed. I'm happy now, I growled fiercely through my teeth. The contrast between my words and tone broke the tension. Charlie burst into laughter, and I had to join in. Okay, I agreed. Balance. And Jacob, he insisted, I'll try.
I get where Charlie's coming from. I get he doesn't like Edward. Also, don't push that too much of give the nice guy a chance.
Yeah, sometimes at the age though, like, I mean, push too much, no,
Yeah,
but sometimes at that age, you do have to point out, like, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad, this is good.
that is true. That is true. Again, I'm looking at from a 28-year-old perspective.
Yeah.
Because any guys who say I'm a nice guy now, it's a red flag every single time. They are not actually a nice guy. They just feel entitled.
Mm-hmm. Ruby agrees if that made it in.
Yes. It's like having to say you're strong. If you have to say, like, I'm strong, I'm tough, I'm intimidating, you're usually not.
Yeah, I hate to break it to you.
Something tells me I don't think we have that demographic watching these videos.
Probably not.
Yeah, they're probably out there watching how to be an alpha male videos.
Yeah. They're especially not watching our Twilight reaction.
No, they're not.
Maybe our Wednesdays, but definitely not these ones. I think we're pretty safe.
We're good.
All right, getting back. Bella had a letter waiting from the University of Alaska Southeast. She got in. Bella assures him that she won't touch Charlie's money. She has a college fund. Because Charlie is all fumbling, like, we'll figure something out. Like, I have some money saved up, and Bella's like, no, like, don't worry about that at all. Charlie then asks about Edward's plans for next year, which valid. That would be a huge point of concern, especially what just happened.
Yeah.
Just then there were 3 taps on the door. It was none other than Eddie Boy. Quote, coming, I called while Charlie mumbled something that sounded like go away. I ignored him and went in to let Edward.
I love that Edward heard it too. I mean,
I love Charlie.
it's so warranted here because, again, from his perspective, looking at all this, if I was in his
shoe. Well, it is a form of shoe. Yeah, it works.
It works. He's a cop. He's probably wearing boots.
Oh, I'm sure. Oh, funny. I can cut that if you want.
It's fine. Boots with the T. And then these boots were made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. Is I put my foot in my mouth. God damn it, that's a mental image. So, in his shoes, I think I would. I know I'd have some resentment as well.
Uh-huh. So Edward comes and greets Charlie, and Charlie grunts at him. Oh. Like I said, these first couple chapters are just...
I'm appreciating it.
So far, it's so good. Edward comes with more college applications because there are a few open deadlines still. Charlie interrupts them and asks Edward if he's decided where he'll be going to school. Edward isn't sure yet, but he's been accepted to Syracuse, Harvard, Dartmouth, and University of Alaska Southeast. Charlie is impressed with the fact that Edward got into Ivy League schools, and Edward tells him that Carlisle is fine with him going wherever he chooses. Bella tells Edward that she also got accepted into the University of Alaska. Quote, Charlie's eyes narrowed, and he glared back and forth between the two of us. Fine, he muttered after a minute. I'm going to watch the game. Bella, 9:30. That was his usual parting command. Dad, remember the very recent discussion about my freedom? He sighs. Right. Okay, 10:30. You still have a curfew on school nights. Bella's no longer grounded, Edward asks. Though I knew he wasn't really surprised, I couldn't detect any false note to the sudden excitement in his voice. Conditionally, Charlie corrected through his teeth. What's it to you?
Oh my god, yes.
And this is why I warned Connie there are a lot of quotes, but it's mostly like Charlie.
I'm good with that. I'm so good with that.
And then later Jacob, I believe. But uh, Edward and Bella go back to filling out college applications, but Bella says it's not necessary since they both know she won't be in any condition to attend school in the fall. This starts the argument I'm sure all of you can imagine. Edward tells her there's no rush, but Bella assures him that she wants to hurry because she wants to be a monster. Edward points to the headlines and tells Bella monsters aren't a joke. Vampires are behind this. The information all points to a newborn vampire on the loose in Seattle. Headlines in the newspaper, a bunch of people are getting murdered in Seattle at this point. And
Yep.
Charlie's been reading the newspaper and just grumbling about the city being a bad place to live and blah, blah, blah. So they've been monitoring the situation and all the signs are there. Quote, "It won't be the same for me. You won't let me be like that. We'll live in Antarctica." Edward snorted, breaking the tension. "Penguins, lovely."
That's exactly what I was thinking. No, they're so sweet. They're so cute.
Yeah, he's thinking penguins for a different reason, Connie.
I know, to eat.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, oh no, they're so
Oh,
sweet.
you were saying,
so
oh
cute.
no. I thought you were saying, oh yeah, they're so cute. I'm
No.
like, that's not a good thing.
That's why I was like, oh no.
Yeah. They then go back to talking about Alaska, where there are grizzlies everywhere, and Edward says the wolves there can get quite large too. Bella's mouth fell open, and Edward asks what was wrong, but then recovers, saying, "Never mind, wolves are offensive to you." Bella mutters that he was her best friend. Of course, it offends her. Edward formally asks for forgiveness for his thoughtlessness, and Bella tells him to not worry about it. Jacob was already on her mind, though, and one of Charlie's conditions is she go see him. But it's out of the question. Edward won't let her around him unprotected. He can't go there without breaking the treaty. It would start a war. Since she doesn't want that, there's no point in discussing this further.
Or hear me out, Eddie boy. She's her own person. She can go where she would like. I get that he thinks there's danger to her, but it's been proven time and time again.
It's not dangerous.
Not to her.
No.
If anything, Eddie, honey, boy, your family is more of a danger to her because they're the ones who actually tried to hurt her.
Yeah, been proven to be dangerous.
Uh-huh. Remember that? Isn't that why you left?
Weird. So Edward changes the subject and asks why she rereads Worthington Heights over and over. It's a hate story. Which, have you ever read Worthington Heights? I have not.
No, it was in our curriculum in high school, but we didn't get to it. Instead, we just spent more time on Romeo and Juliet. Waste of time. Story bugs the shit out of me.
Bella says that she isn't sure, but probably something about inevitability. Did I say that right?
Yeah, inevitability.
Okay.
It's a weird one. Don't think about it.
Bella says she isn't sure. It's something about inevitability and nothing can keep them apart. Edward hopes that she has a better sense than to fall in love with something so malignant.
Pot kettle, bish.
Bella tells Edward she needs to see Jacob. Edward says no. Bella pleads with him it's not dangerous at all. Edward tells her that werewolves are unstable and can hurt or kill people without meaning to. Bella tells him he doesn't know him, but Edward knows them better than she thinks. He was here last time, 70 years ago. Somehow, Carlisle convinced Jacob's great-grandfather that they can coexist, and they made a truce. They thought the werewolves had died out, and Bella tells him why they came back. Bella tells Edward this is much more important than just seeing an old friend. Jacob is in pain, and she has to help him. He was there for her, so she will be there for him. She owes him. And this was my note. I know I've done a lot of quotes.
No, it's, oh, put Edward in his place. Put him in his place, please.
I don't know if that's happening, but I don't remember.
Bella, please.
So I'm reading this from here to the end, so I don't need an end point. So we're just going. Please just listen for a minute. This is so much more important than some whim to drop in on an old friend. Jacob is in pain. My voice distorted around the word. I can't not try to help him. I can't give up on him now when he needs me just because he is not human all the time. Well, he was there for me when I was not so human myself. You don't know what it was like. I hesitated. Edward's arms were rigid around me. His hands were in fists now, the tendons standing out. If Jacob hadn't helped me, I'm not sure what you would have come home to. I owe him better than this, Edward. I looked up at his face wearily. His eyes were closed and his jaw was strained. I'll never forgive myself for leaving you, he whispered. Not if I live 100,000 years. I put my hands against his cold face and waited until he sighed and opened his eyes. You were just trying to do the right thing, and I'm sure it would have worked with anyone less mental than me. Besides, you're here now. That's the part that matters. If I'd never left, you wouldn't feel the need to go risk your life to comfort a dog. I flinched. I was used to Jacob and all his derogatory slurs, bloodsuckers, leeches, parasites. Somehow it sounded harsher in Edward's velvet voice.
Yeah, it kind of feels racist.
It does.
It kind of feels racist.
I don't know that I never like reacted to the bloodsuckers, or I'm like, yeah. Then the dog, I'm like, that's crossing a line.
No, well, there is racial connotations with like mutt and dog, so that's kind of
probably
why
where it's coming from.
That's why it's like, oh.
Thank you for putting that connection in my head, because I was like, I don't know why it just feels. Ugh.
Reading some of the old cases I've had to, it hasn't been explicit, but you're reminded of things that happened in the last 100 years. Not good.
I don't know how to phrase this properly, Edward said, and his tone was bleak. It's going to sound cruel, I suppose, but I've come too close to losing you in the past. I know what it feels like to think I have. I am not going to tolerate anything dangerous. You have to trust me on this. I'll be fine. His face was pained again. Please, Bella, he whispered. I stared into his suddenly burning gold eyes. Please what? Please, for me, please make a conscious effort to keep yourself safe. I'll do everything I can, but I would appreciate a little help. I'll work on it, I muttered. Do you really have any idea how important you are to me? Any concept at all of how much I love you? He pulled me tighter against his hard chest, tucking my head under his chin. I pressed my lips against his snow-cold neck. I know how much I love you, I answered. You compare one small tree to the entire forest. I rolled my eyes, but he couldn't see. Impossible. He kissed the top of my head and sighed. No werewolves. I'm not going along with that. I have to see Jacob. Then I'll have to stop you. He sounded utterly confident that this wouldn't be a problem. I was sure he was right. We'll see about that, I bluffed anyway. He is still my friend. I could feel Jacob's note in my pocket, like it suddenly weighed 10 pounds. I could hear the words in his voice, and he seemed to be agreeing with Edward, something that would never happen in reality. Doesn't change anything. Sorry. End of chapter 1.
End of chapter 1. Oy vey, oy vey, oy vey, oy vey.
Yeah. Any last comments for chapter 1?
Nah, let's barrel through chapter 2 and keep her going.
Chapter 2 is evasion. Bella headed to the cafeteria. There were posters for yearbooks, class rings, announcements, graduation gown orders, and prom, but Bella refuses to be subjected to going to prom again. Bella sat down at the table with Angela, Ben, Alice, and Edward. They talk about sending out announcements, and Bella offers to help Angela address her invites, and she'll go to Angela's house since she's sick of her own. Hearing about her new freedom, Angela says that they need to celebrate, and Alice gets an excited look on her face. Bella tells her to calm down, and Alice tells her that they will save it for the weekend. Alice had a vision, and Angela was trying to get her attention because she got all freaked out. Obviously, when she came back, Edward teases her to stop daydreaming. Ben and Angela were worrying.
Why wouldn't they just say, sorry, hi. Why wouldn't they just say, like, she has some condition that gives her, like, mini seizures where she just, like, blacks out for a
Focal
second, but it's
seizures.
fine. Focal, yeah. Why would, that's, like, such a great cover.
Or petit mal. Whatever term that I learned focal seizures for those, but I think they're now technically petit mal seizures.
All I know is grand mal is bad.
So they could say that's just she has mini seizures.
Yeah, better cover than just like,
yeah,
what's she doing? Drugs.
Yeah, Edward was just like, you're daydreaming already, Alice? Come on, it's not even like the end of the day.
That's the best he could come up with?
They bought it.
Really? Okay. I mean, people bought pet rocks, so, you know.
So Alice threw herself right back into the conversation, though. After lunch, Mike was asking Edward some sort of questions about his car. Bella overheard and was about to suggest her mechanic, but stopped herself. Edward offered to take a look at Mike's car that night. Once Mike was gone, Alice chimed in saying he's not that good of a mechanic. Maybe he should let Rosalie take a look for him. This way, it would make him look good. But then again, Rosalie isn't supposed to be here right now, so maybe not. Alice leaves, and Edward asks if she thinks he's allowed in the house again. Bella.
Side note for those not remembering, at this point, Emmett and Rosalie have graduated, and I think Jasper has.
Yes, Jasper has too. Bella thinks that he's probably fine to come inside right now. Charlie might sulk a little bit, but she'll make him a special dinner to make up for it. When they got to Bella's house, they made their way upstairs, and Bella answered Renee's email. She was asking about Jake, probably from some prompting from Charlie. Bella tells her that he's fine. She doesn't see him much since he spends time with his LaPush friends. She also added Edward's greeting and sent it. Bella turns around and sees Edward examining the radio hiding in her closet. It was her birthday present. Edward was horror-struck and asked why she felt the need to torture it. Bella tells him it wouldn't come out of her truck. And Edward assures her that he will replace it, but don't worry, not for her sake. He also points out that the plane voucher tickets are about to expire, the ones that she got from Carlisle and Esme. Maybe she should celebrate her freedom by going to Florida this weekend. Edward tries to convince her to use them this weekend to go see Renee, but Bella doesn't want to, not now that Charlie just forgave her. Bella changed the subject by asking what Alice saw at lunch. She saw Jasper in a strange place and she's worried about him. He didn't tell her about it because it's probably not important. They went downstairs to work on homework, and Bella started on dinner early, just in case Charlie got home earlier than normal. Charlie came home and was in a good mood. He wasn't even rude to Edward. Charlie helped himself to 3 helpings of the stroganoff that Bella made, and he thanked Bella. Charlie tells Bella that he talked to Billy for a while. He invited them down this weekend for a playoff party with the Clearwaters and the Yuleys. Bella didn't know how to respond. There was no way that Edward was going to allow this. This is the thing that Do not tell your partner what they can and cannot do, who they can and cannot see.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm probably irked about it because that is what happened to me.
See our toxic episode for a lot more details. You're not Brittany. Toxic isn't cute. But yeah, no, honestly, as you were saying that, I'm like, I'm drawing a parallel.
Yeah.
Don't like it. And then for anyone
Don't do
who's like,
that.
no, it's romantic, it's sweet, it's not.
It's not. It's
not.
awful.
Like, you can think it's romantic and sweet in books. That's like the same thing of like, he growled into her ear, or insert any other thing for the type of books that are not Twilight. But like, think about that in real life. Would that be sexy? Would you find that attractive?
No.
No. If a man's crawling towards you, you know what you're doing? Saying the Lord's Prayer and running the other way.
I was going to say laughing, but that works too.
I'm thinking of our Who Knows What Wednesday episodes. That's why I'm like, Lord's Prayer and run.
Ooh.
And maybe some pew pew if you got it.
Yeah. So, okay, going back. Yes. Charlie waited for a response, but finally gave up. Edward started a new conversation telling Charlie about the plane ticket. Oh, this annoys me too. Telling Charlie about the tickets his parents got for Bella. And Charlie tells her that she should go see Renee, but then realizes that Edward said multiple. Oh, this part does not bother me. Sorry. Edward said multiple tickets and then asked about that. When Edward tells him it's for the two of them, Charlie objects and starts yelling because she will not go anywhere with him. Bella points out that she's an adult and not grounded anymore. Charlie says she is again starting now because he said so and it's his house, so she'll follow his rules. Bella tells him it's not fair because he wouldn't object if she said that she was going with Alice, Angela, or even Jacob. Bella then asks Charlie if he's implying something about Renee's ability to look after her. If so, he better hope that she doesn't mention it to her, and there's no reason for him to be upset.
Okay, real quick. That was a good play right there. Not so much that Angela, Ben, Edward, no, not Edward, Jacob. But like that, oh, are you saying that mom is unable to take care of me? Really? Is that what you're saying? That's a phenomenal argument on someone like Charlie. I'm not saying it's good. Like,
I know, I get it's a good argument, but like,
for the
Bella,
she's using her powers for evil here, but like, I gotta appreciate where I'm like, hey, for someone who is not logical for the majority of this series, that was damn good logical. She used some brain cells there. And then they promptly died and she didn't use them the rest of the damn series. Tell me I'm wrong. You can't.
I don't know yet, but I believe you. I believe you.
Believe me.
So Bella then tells Charlie everything is done. Homework, dinner, chores. She'll be back before 10:30 and then leaves. Edward is enthusiastic and asks where they're going. But Bella isn't happy with him and told him that they need to talk alone. Once they're alone in his car, Bella demands to know what all that was about. Edward tells her that she's been talking in her sleep about Renee and it's been worrying him, which I'm starting to think that's a bunch of BS.
I'm thinking that's BS.
Because I'm a couple chapters ahead and I'm calling BS on that looking back.
I don't remember all of it, but I'm calling BS because I'm like, that's convenient. That's so convenient that you're bringing that up when, right after, Charlie says like, hey, werewolves are coming.
Bella asks him if the sudden urge to go to Florida has anything to do with the party. Edward's jaw flexed and said no. Even if she was here, she wouldn't be going. Bring it back. Yep. Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh.
She wouldn't be going. But I feel like we've talked about that enough, so we're just going to red flag it and continue. Bella got back home earlier than planned and came inside alone. Charlie asked for her to come in and talk to him. He asks where they went, and she tells him that they went to the Cullens and they all played chess. Charlie frowned and tells her he isn't good at this stuff and doesn't know how to start this, but her and Edward are getting serious and there's a lot of important things for her to know when there's physical involvement. Bella jumps to her feet and begs for him to stop. But he tells her that he has a responsibility and it's just as embarrassing for him.
I doubt it, honey.
He just wants to know that they're being responsible. But Bella assures him that it's not like that, and Edward is very old fashioned, so there's nothing to worry about. Charlie mutters, "Sure he is." Bella tells him she can't believe she has to say this out loud. She's a virgin and has no immediate plans to change that status.
Oh.
uh,
Oh.
but I feel that, though, at my core.
Yeah.
That was like me growing up. I basically had to do that too.
Same. There was a lot of folks that just assumed. And I was like, why? Do y'all know how weird I am? Like, what? What are you basing this on?
So they were both cringing, but Charlie seemed to believe her. Bella asked if she can go to bed now, and Charlie tells her in a minute.
Really, Charlie? You want more?
He wants to know how the balancing thing is going, and then how about Jacob? She has to keep trying with him. She is then free to go upstairs, and Bella just goes, why did I say that way? She is then free to go upstairs. Edward wouldn't be back for a while. She thought about Jacob. She would call, but he wouldn't answer her. She needed to see him, and she probably had an hour. Bella grabbed her jacket, ran downstairs, and asked if Charlie cares if she went to go see Jake tonight. He tells her to stay as long as she wants.
Sorry.
I love Charlie.
I love the obvious bias.
Yep. Bella got in her car, went to start it, but instead of the engine turning over, it was just a click. Then Edward appeared. Alice called him. She got nervous when her future abruptly disappeared, and that only happens with wolves. They don't know why it happens still, especially since Edward can read their minds, which is a good point, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Trust me, the amount of inconsistencies in this universe is it's frustrating.
Oh, so there's no specific reason why.
To
Alice
my memory,
can't.
I don't believe so. I mean, maybe there is in the books and I don't remember, but no.
I was just wondering because it was like highlighted here that Edward can read their minds and Alice can't see him. I don't remember
us getting an answer to that.
Okay,
I could be wrong.
He then tells her that he'll put her truck back together in time for school just in case she wants to drive herself. Bella grabs her keys and climbs out, and I cannot let go of this damn flag right now.
No, honestly, this would have made me so mad. Beyond mad. Relationship ending mad. But that's me.
Oh, especially after this line. Oh, just you wait. Edward tells her to shut her window if she wants him to stay away tonight because he understands. That should be a relationship ending thing.
You sparkly ass. I'm trying
Insert
to
your words of choice. We're trying to be better. Yeah. So
I didn't say a damn word there, but everyone knew what I was saying. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Bella stomps in the house and slams the door. Charlie asks what was wrong. When Bella says her trunk won't start, Charlie offers to look at it for her, or she can take his car. Bella thought that Charlie must be really desperate to get her to La Push if he offered his squad car to her.
I love that.
He was almost as desperate as she was. Bella grumbled no, she was tired, and stomps upstairs saying goodnight. Quote, I stamped my way up the stairs and went straight to my window. I shoved the metal frame roughly. It crashed shut, and the glass trembled. I stared at the shivering black glass for a long moment until it was still, which I was like, hell yeah, Bella. Then I sighed and opened the window as wide as it would go. End quote, end of chapter 2.
Bella. Bella, get some therapy. Get some love yourself, even like an iota more. You do not love yourself if you are putting up with this. What?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so any little ion that was left of me being Team Edward is so
Crushed.
far gone. Crushed. That
Obliterated.
obliterated. If my husband ever did that to me or restricted my bodily autonomy in that type of extreme way, physically or otherwise, and I would expect him to leave me if I did the same to him.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say, if that ever happened, I would get a phone call with you on the way here already.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, or you'd get a phone call from me in jail.
I thought you were gonna be like a phone call for me to come and pack, but there's that.
No, it's like, no, a domestic would have happened. I shouldn't make light of those jokes. I'm just saying my husband and I are we would have it out, which again, thank God he is nothing like that. But like, and neither of our husbands are, but like,
No.
I can't even. How did I not remember? Did I block this?
Probably.
I blocked this.
Just like I blocked the last 15 minutes of the New Moon movie.
Yeah. I can't even. Oh my God. I don't know. I know why this bothers me so much, but like.
It bothers you so much more at this age.
With my frontal cortex developed? Yeah.
Something about, and I mean, even looking back, because I was in that really bad relationship where, you know, he was like, you can't see this person, you can't talk to that person, you can't do this, you can't do that.
Yep.
All the time. And something about when you're younger, and I know all of you guys that are at that age, again, I guess we haven't said this on our Saturday episodes, we say you guys a lot. That means
gender neutral.
Yeah, gender neutral. We're in the Midwest.
Yes.
But like, I know you guys are tired of hearing this, that like things make more sense when you're older. Your frontal cortex isn't fully developed. You don't understand. But truly, before that was developed, I didn't understand. I was like, well, yeah, that makes sense. That's completely normal. I didn't see what was wrong with that. Yep. And now that we're in like our later 20s, I'm like,
30s around the corner.
How can anyone be okay with that?
I know. Well, at the time, you just... Okay, I'm gonna sound like a boomer real quick. I know it. You don't have to say it in the comments, okay? I'm aware. It's something I'm working on, okay? But like, all of your idea of relationships, unless your parents had like a really, really good relationship and were very forward about making sure that you understood what a good relationship was, which is not the norm. You got your relationship from TV, from movies, from books. And let's be honest, how often do you see that good, healthy, communicative relationship? You don't, because it doesn't draw viewers. You see the stuff like this. You saw
the drama.
You see the Edward.
Yeah.
And you think it's lovely. Like it's
Bella
what you're
and
supposed
Edward
to do.
Are endgame.
End goals. Yes. And like, you don't realize until, you know, you're out of it and just how messed up that is. And you're right. I hate to say it because I remember being so mad whenever people told me like, no, you'll change. You'll understand when you get older. And I felt that it was so invalidating.
I know, because I'm like, I'm an adult. Treat me like an adult.
Yeah. I would gander to say that you and I are almost completely different people than we were 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a lot changes. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah. It changes for the better, though.
It does.
Minus your joints and your metabolism.
Yeah.
And your testosterone drops off if you're a woman and a man.
At 25.
At 25.
For females. I don't know about males, but females drops off at 25.
Yeah, check out the hormone episode. We got a little tangent on this one, but like, this was a merited tangent because this is so... Oh my God.
This was just red flag, the whole chapter. on Edward.
Yeah, and you know, like we talked about him being red flag in Twilight and in New Moon, but that was the red flag of like more of a personal thing where like this is like, no, this is actually like national statistics of domestic violence, like this type of interference, this controlling, like no, this is an actual red flag.
Mm-hmm.
Like not just our personal gripe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I also know that those episodes were before these microphones, so apologies.
Oh my god, yeah. Those are baby episodes.
Those were our baby episodes, but I promise the content is worth it.
The content's worth it. But oh god, back when we thought that this podcast was gonna be casual conversations, life advice.
Maybe we should throw some of those in every once in a while.
For our sanity, yeah, because now it's murders on Wednesday and Edward and Bella on Saturdays.
Hey, this was your choice.
You know, in my defense, I remembered it from my prefrontal cortex development days, and I didn't remember it was like this.
Oh, it's been a journey.
This actually so fucking bugs me. Like,
I was reading this. You should see my notes, Connie.
I can imagine. I can imagine. It's like my unedited thoughts up here that I'm doing my best to filter before they come out.
It is so bad. Well, not even that. I'm talking like grammar and spell errors and like
you don't care, sentences. You're just getting it out.
Yeah, because I'm so upset.
I know. This is just
my blood was boiling this whole episode. Like, I thought it was bad when Edward in the beginning was like, no, you're not going. You're not going. And then at the end, I was like,
worse.
And then Bella at the end, I was like, okay, finally we get something good. And then that last little
they deserve each other.
Truly.
Truly. The awful deserves awful. I think what's making me so upsetty spaghetti about this is the fact that, one, I'm upset for a fictional character, but two, so many girls ended up, and I'm generalizing, I don't know this for a fact, but with the prevalence of Twilight in culture when we were growing up, how many girls ended up in your same position because of stuff like this, starting here with this, thinking this is okay?
Probably a lot more than anyone's going to admit to.
Mm-hmm. If I were to write one of those books that are interesting to read and not about breath, if I was to write one of those, I would put in the foreword, or like I would put it like on the cover, fictional, do not idolize in real life. Like I would put warnings all over. Maybe not a great book, but like I can't, like, ethically.
I mean, yeah. I just, and I think that this just upsets me because obvious reasons.
Yeah, no, I think honestly, any grown adult hearing this, but especially a grown adult woman hearing this, you're gonna be mad.
You will be mad.
I can guarantee that my cousin who's watching this, hey
Jody.
Hi Jody. Probably not Colin. I don't think he'd be interested in the Twilight episodes.
Hi if you're here.
Hi. Yeah, you're mad too, aren't you? Yeah, I know anyone else listening, you got to be mad on this. And if not, reflect.
Take some time to think.
Yes. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just worried about you.
A little worried. Yeah.
I'm gonna punch him back.
It's not good. It's really bad. It's really bad.
And we have an entire book of this. Oh, I remembered some other. Oh, girl, you are gonna want to tar and feather Edward by the end of this book.
Worse?
The sneaky, petty BS he's pulling? Yeah. To my memory. Again, I don't remember all of it. And it might be mixed with some of the movie plot lines, but like
worse than what he just did.
I don't remember, but I do remember him pulling a lot of shitesy, like, wow, really? Did you really just do that? All of them in regards to Jacob. Yeah.
Leave Jacob alone.
Oh, he does. No, he salt wound, lemon. hydrogen peroxide, bleach, vinegar,
Leave
all of it.
poor Jacob alone.
No, Eddie boy really. Ella. Bella and Edward are really kind of the villains of this entire series.
Honestly. But on that note,
yeah, we can wrap up, or I'm going to sit here just talking about how awful it is.
We're going to talk in circles for a long time, or we could. We could just keep going and going. Well, we have a couple episodes that you can go look on, some of our old ones. Maybe we'll throw in occasional ones like that again, because that would be nice, because that's why we originally started this podcast.
Maybe one day we can redo. I was like, why am I? Where is?
I thought you were saying reduce, so I was like, what?
I was saying redo, but as redo, like as one word. That's why I'm like, what am I saying? Oh, anyway, it's like Meta Reuters. But it would be nice to redo maybe some of our early episodes and just like kind of expand on them.
Yeah.
Now that we have a little bit better setup and a little more
comfortable in front of cameras.
Yeah, we were real uncomfortable at first.
It was bad.
It was so bad.
We had the nervous babble.
Oh my god. Well, how far off is that from most of our babble? Oh, I gotta go back and rewatch, don't I?
It was bad.
It was bad. Oh, thank you guys for sticking around and giving us a chance.
Yeah, but let us know if you have any suggestions on things you want us to talk about or other books you want us to cover. We do have an email that will be below, or you can follow us on any of our social medias, which will also be below, and you can comment on any of them, and we will see it.
Yeah. No spoilers. Again, no spoilers for Jess. No. We want her to have an organic reaction to some of the BS that's going to happen. We want that filmed. You want it filmed. And like always, I'm scared. But we will see you next week for the next 2 chapters of what book? Eclipse. I know. I almost said New Moon.
I almost said Twilight.
I mean, it felt like Twilight and New Moon took forever.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
Until then, adios. Go to hell, Edward.